This is it, Luigi. Oh, man. I can't believe we're finally here. We're finally here. One last chance to prove Lana innocent. And here we go. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, please take the stand? Oh boy, what you gonna do? Miss Lana Skye, you're the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Skye. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Some faith. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Okay, Lana. Make it count. I've worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. Lawyer! When I found the prosecutor's marshal's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Drake Dark convicted. Wow. It had nothing to do with Emma. Lawyer! Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana! If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this. That is why I've been telling you from the beginning. Again, lawyer! Please, Mr. Wright, you have to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. But what if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. Cross-examination time. Let's see what we have. How many years exactly? Ever since I've made senior detective. Let's see. I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years. Detective Gant and Detective Skye were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. She must have been good coming from the same school as Mia. Damon Gant was a respectable detective. That's why. There is no truth to this blackmail theory. Huh? But think about it, Miss Skye. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. Uh-huh. Did you do so in order to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana. So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago? When he found the body, she rearranged the crime scene, huh? You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. Bro! All just to protect me. So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. Broke off the tip. Okay, she broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, and then moved the body, huh? You planted the tip of Dark's wounded thing? What? She did. But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but I ought to ask for the sake of others. But why did you do that? Come now, Mr. Wright. Even you should be able to figure it out. Very well, let's add this to the witness's testimony. The reason Miss Skye fabricated the knife. I knew the tip of the weapon found buried in his body would be all the proof we needed. According to your testimony, Prosecutor Marshall's broken knife was the murder weapon, right? Yes, and leaving it at that might point the blame away from Dark. I felt the most effective way to get him convicted would be by having the tip of his knife found inside the victim's body. So you buried it inside the victim's stab wound? Yes, because I hated Dark for what he did. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Oh, yeah, but it does. So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. Are you so desperate to hide that fact? That you're willing to risk the death sentence? She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying. Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone. I've got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Alright, then we present something, huh? Now what can we really present here in this case? Because really, all this testimony is telling me is that, yeah, she did it all on her own when she was really trying to protect Emma. Yeah, she did it. She fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by herself. Well, let's see. What can we use then? I don't know if we... Okay, let's rule out some things. I think everything on this page has nothing to do with this. I think everything on this page, except for maybe Bar the Switch Knife, might be the one. Might be the one we present. So really all that's left is here. Obviously the security video's out. Marshall's fingerprints are out. Evidence locker is out. Unstable jar is out. Maybe. Maybe we show the evidence list, because if that's really all fabricated evidence, then maybe, because it's like, Wait a minute. Actually, we did press on this statement, right? Yeah, because we had another option here, didn't we? Yeah, let's hear about this one. When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Guy moved the body. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. Uh-huh. Pieces of the jar? You mean... Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show what that Dark committed the crime. I felt it'd be more expedient to move the body. So, when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered into pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Yeah, and I bet we show the jar, do we? Neil Marshall was dead, and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken in the struggle. I see. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. Yeah, the pieces of the jar, huh? Yeah, well, if my thing is correct, like, yeah, the jar. Because it was clearly hiding something, wasn't it? It was clearly hiding something. So, you know, the jar is like the most important thing to this. Because the jar threatened the plans all along. Come on! Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I'm compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction with your testimony. A contradiction? In my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered in the events threatened my plan." That's right. Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on the jar with the victim's blood. Yes, Emma. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write this message on the jar, it must have not yet been broken before he died. Yeah, because he died in under 10 minutes. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Exactly. Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're in the dark as we are, about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. Jar and the message in blood. Let's see. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have the time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. She was the one who wiped away the blood. The fragments were so large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. Because she saw Emma's name on there. So you mean you're the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Alright. Let's see what we got. So she immediately noticed that jar, huh? So the jar was already broken. It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier. It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case. Boy! But not as feeble as the judge's judgment. Hey! You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces? Normally I would have. Yeah, but it was dark in the room because of the blackout, right? So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them into dust. Well, that helps my case. Lana, you do that for me? It seems you two might make up yet. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. This is rather shocking. That it is. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened. What do you mean? If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation? Lana, I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up all the pieces. The fragments were so large, I'm sure you got them all, huh? But how could you see with that power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. Wow. Prepared. So you illegally arranged a crime scene? Yes. I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I treated you so badly all this time. It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we got to the bottom of this incident. No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office. More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony. Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. But what could it be? The jar again? Oh wait, what about this? Because... Okay, so let's read all the facts here. So, apparently she immediately noticed the blood traces, and it was dark in the room because of the blackout, and yet she was always prepared with, you know, a pocket light and a camera. To be safe, she wiped away the blood, because I think she did see the message. She did see that Emma was written on it. Fragments were so large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered, huh? What about this, though? Because from the very book that she gave us... Okay, let's rule these out. So, evidence law explains the 2 rules of evidence law, okay? So, submitting evidence. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence must be relevant to the case on trial. Let's see, what could... Well, it can't be the jar again. I mean... Could it be the piece of cloth, actually, now? This hasn't come into play yet. This has Emma Sky's prints on it. And that thing does have the... Yeah, I don't really see anything on this page that can help. Nothing on this page that can help. So it's gotta be one of these. I think it might just be the... Huh. Okay, let me actually... Because this is all down to the jar, right? Let's see. Could it be inside the... Is this really all down to the jar, actually? Like, there's one thing. There's like 2 spots here that we can check. Huh? This thing doesn't have a bottom. That's weird. I wonder which side is up. Better yet, what's the purpose of a bottomless jar? Oh! 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 Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you are not aware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the chief's safe? But how? I knew it! She really didn't know! There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was... still blood on it. Exactly. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. What? How could he? But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Ha, can you believe that? Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Yeah, it was already broken. Oh, that. There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying that this person is Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Why did he? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? Nah! No! Oh! We even fooled the judge! Bro! Wait. I'm not the one on trial here! Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication of evidence. Yeah, but why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Sky believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Sky became the Chief's puppet. Ooh, she bit her finger and got blood. Ugh. No, I did it on my own. Oh, she's cracking. She's cracking. Please, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. Yeah. What? Wait a minute. Oh God. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Oh God. What trap? What? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana? Maybe Wright after all. What do you mean, Wright? Do you tell us foul lies then, Wright? What? Miss Sky, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall may also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Sky, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Come on, do it. Yeah, very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. All right, the witness may testify once more for the final time. Oh my God. Holy, okay. We got him on the ropes now. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor's sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it was really all a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Unbelievable! The body was impaled on the armor's sword. You were the only one who saw that. If you had proof. Actually, what? Oh, I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. The evidence book? What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. What? I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright? She really does have faith in you. Wait a minute. What is this picture? What is this picture? I gotta. Was it really the... Where did we get this? Where did we get it? What? Oh my God. Did we not? What? Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check the evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. Really? I mean, if it's the evidence law book, because that's like the one piece of evidence that we got this morning, wasn't it? Yeah, because it has a picture on it. Let's see. Let's see. I liked it. It's a cute little picture. I kind of like that. Let's see. Where can we do that? There's a picture of a bird on here. It's the only thing we can do. Oh, there it is. Hey, there's a picture here. Aha! Oh my! This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest. Could that be the cloth we found inside the thing? Yes! Finally, it comes into play. Finally! This is a handprint, isn't it? Jeez. That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whoever's fingerprints those are must be the real murderer. What? But those fingerprints, they're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning purple, Mr. Wright? Jesus. Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Jesus! We have to actually, we have to actually flush out Emma as the murderer, do we? Oh my God. What? Hey, you jerk. Come now, Edgy. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant. Now, what? Now you want to make out to be the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make any statements of the sort. Ha ha! Let's go! This must be with the risk that we were talking about earlier. Yeah, I also checked that out too, because apparently it also pretty much means, yeah, you're basically as good as guilty. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Oh my God. Worthy, my dude. Jesus, he's gone Super Saiyan. I kind of like that. So what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. Why? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone? So, what's your excuse? Righto? Oh, shit. Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? Yeah, I'm afraid we do. The frickin' cloth. If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal everything, you'll be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. Shit. What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? No. 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 We can't do that. We really can't do that. That would actually be unfair to Emma, because this shows that she was the one who killed her, right? No. No. We can't do that. Your Honor, I don't have anything that I don't have anything to present this time. I'm sorry. I can't read. I'm so ready to be done with reading. What? You lie! Chief Gant, you opened my safe. I know what you took. I'm so goddamn done, dude. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, it's Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it was cut out for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Come on, man. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Well, here he is. Here he is, boys. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. Oh, you mean you admit to it? He's actually gonna testify, isn't he? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. Come on, tell him. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her. I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay on it with their sister, that's when she saw the crime scene, she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence. You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl convicted. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make the police chief by dumb luck. See this jaw fragment? Yeah, I hit the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message of this jar too? Ho, ho, ho. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean the piece of cloth? Come now, Righto. Cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gant? That you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe? Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do it being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being betrayed as the murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. Oh God, do we have to show it? Because if we can't keep this up any further, then Emma's gonna be the murderer, which might be wrong. Which might be wrong, but... I mean, everyone pretty much knows we already have it at this point. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Alright, let's see this cloth. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Here we go. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's chest? Oh, yes. At last, you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. Oh, Jesus. I almost threw up a little bit in my mouth. Jesus, this case is kind of disgusting, but it's also kind of brilliant. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean, it could not have been forged. There must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Sheesh. Ho ho ho. You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. Yeah, come on, Worthy. What are you doing? What? Think about it. Wright had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that? Mr. Wright, do you really know? Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well. I'll tell you. Should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. Emma? Emma Sky? What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me? Oh, jeez. Are we really just gonna let him win? Or is this gonna be like a turnaround? Oh, you're really something, right? Oh, you knew this girl did it all along. And yet you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you? You monster! Miss Sky, you knew whose fingerprints were those all along, and yet you acted as if she really did it. Miss Sky, it's not over. How can it not? What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. Oh, we're waiting for it. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer. Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh? And what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you're absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? Talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is. Wait. I think I might be onto something here. I'm getting a brainwave. I'm getting a brainwave here. Hold on. Let me take a look at this. Do I really... I don't know if I actually do see that on there. Wait a minute. What about... Because my thing is, it's just like... Is it really the blue... No. What could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Wait. Hold on, let me check this one then. That's like a big piece of cloth. Jeez. Wait a minute. Wait a second. The cloth. It's like a big cloth, though. Like... No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is it really... That's it, because it looks like it's like square shape, isn't it? Is it? It probably would have been covered in blood, though. Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah. No. Because, like, what I was thinking was, like, okay. So, I wanted to check the thing to see if there was anything wrong, this picture, to see if there's anything wrong with it. And I'm like, no, that couldn't possibly be it. But then I remember, like, this. If there was really blood all over this if there's really blood all over this thing, like, the cloth would be, like, all bloody, though. Wouldn't it? Because there was blood. Yeah. No. No. The cloth would have been messy. And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the picture of his vest was cut out? Yes. His shirt was showing underneath. It's hard to make out all the blood on this vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest was soaked with blood. It's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth. Yeah, it's like completely clean. Like almost completely clean. There's no blood on it. Oh, get him! Let's go! Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at the time. No! This is nonsense! Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. Was he? If so, then tell me, who could have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Lana Sky and picked up the unconscious prosecutor and then impaled him on the armor sword? Jesus, dude. Whoa. Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Like I said, he would do anything. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. God damn, man. God damn. God, this game is wild, man. It's finally all over. Can't get around this one. What? Why? Why? What? Oh, that was close, right? Oh, you almost had me. What? Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. Yes, it's illegal, but... What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Aji? Earlier, Wright here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Righto? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. Yeah, we had to purposely do that so that we could flush him out. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, the piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair. Ho, 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 ho. Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the lap's on you, son. Jeez. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. However, assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? Yeah, no, the evidence law. It seems at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposely and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? I mean, at this point, we have to. But wait a minute. No, that would really get us into trouble. No. Look. Listen. What? No. No, we didn't. Because... Yeah, no. What I'm thinking... Here. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. It's all part of evidence law. So we technically really didn't do any of that. I admit, I refused to present it at one point. So the evidence is illegal. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved in when presenting evidence. No, Aji, don't listen to his lies! He's nothing but a coward! I can't believe... There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well. Let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. It's all part of evidence law, my buddies. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were found on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, it was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece for myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Yeah, I can't believe that came back, right? And here's the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one good look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. No. He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. No! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. He screwed himself. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant, the killer was you! Oh God, he's going crazy! He's going crazy! Oh my God! He's going crazy! Oh my God! Oh my God! This oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! This fucking game, dude. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. Marshall, that good-for-nothing scum! For 2 years, he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, and yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr and then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance of finding out the truth. Please, you got to help me. That's when he was speaking to Gant about it. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the case, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's now too late. I'm going to hand this all over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL-9. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. That's when he did it. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as a crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. But then you put the body in my car? I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Jeez. Leaving the prosecutor's car aside, how? How could you get Miss Sky involved in all this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker. I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar fragments and the glove. Wow. Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. Jeez. Dude! They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you go and try to do it alone. Well, looks like it's time for me to say goodbye. Oh, Aji? What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. Going out laughing. I'm sorry too, Damon Gant. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator, and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Aji. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Wrighto here. And Worthy. With those two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning. Going out laughing, just like he always does. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years, from the time I helped Gant help me forge evidence up until today. So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but I couldn't get you out of all of your trouble. My. What high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top. Ah, she smiled. Ah. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Miss Sky. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Liar. I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. And you done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it! I only did my job. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Skye? Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, this trial has gone on for too long already. That I agree on, sir. I'm ready for this game to be over. Regarding the charge of murder, the court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, not guilty! Confetti and all! Let's go! Yeah! Yes! That is all! This court is adjourned! Let's go, man! Let's go! This case was wild. I'm sorry. Look, this case was wild, man. I'm sorry, this might actually be case 4 is my favorite. Like, jeez. At long last, it's finally over. Let's go, man. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't completely get completely off the hook. But at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended, I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. Yeah, I know, right? She didn't say Fey in that statement when we actually talked to him. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. She didn't actually say anything about Emma, did she? Oh. You know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me. I hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals! Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Hunter, what did it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Make a detective run on duty and you call me off here. I'll be happy your days and funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh, are you here because of my sister again? Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Me? That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Lana? Yeah! Lana! Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't. Let's go. Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day, 2 years ago, was the first time in my life I've ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis, I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself. But I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. And hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis. I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Yeah. Oh, Emma. Emma! Let's go, dude. Come on. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Precious. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why we must make up for our mistakes, you may ask? Because, in so doing, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. That picture is so precious. Come on. At least, that's what I felt watching those two sisters make up. Mr. Wright? Mr. Gumshoe? Me? Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right? Edgeworth? Oh, Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. Come on, dude. Yeah. Where was he hiding? I just came to say, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right. Well, I'll be going now. There you go. See you next game, buddy. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. Come on. Just say it. It's too late for me. Oh, yeah, because of the... Yeah. No matter what anyone may say, I realized today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth. Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. God, that must have got... Oh, man. Dude. Come on, man. This is really getting to me. This is really getting to me. Like, man, poor Edgeworth. Poor Edgeworth. He's been through, like, a lot. Not just with Case Spore, but with this one, dude. I'm actually really glad this case even exists as an extra one, because it gives a lot more depth to him than I ever thought would possibly be. Jesus. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said, in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. Yeah, he wasn't. You were working together with Mr. Wright. Because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone unnoticed. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about. Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find out on our own. Really, though. Really, though. What could possibly... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, the evidence list. Yeah. Because we found this together. That's the picture I drew. Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. Come on, just say it. Oh. I thought he was going to say I love you for a second, but whatever. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth? If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. There he go. Edgeworth! What will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember. You can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can help it, or you can let it help it. God, I'm so done. I am so done with reading everything. God, please. You can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. That's what I meant to say. In the end, it's up to you. Ah! I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. There he go. I better be going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here's a little something for you. Scientific investigation, yeah! It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will. Bro, dude. And so, another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. So good. So precious. Faith that their lives have only just begun. Dude. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Oh, God, look at it. Well, don't go trekking up just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Yeah? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here is the one who will be footing the bill. Oh, God, what? Out of my money? What? You think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. Huh? 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 Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Why is it? I suddenly feel like I want to scream. Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. Yeah. I thought he was just going to interrupt and say, okay, I'll pay. Jesus. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I'm sure she'd be pleased to study under a top coroner. Yeah. As for me, this affair has been pretty much ended the days at the prosecutor's office. Yeah, you'll pretty much be wound up on the field again. Then I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. Ah, that's nice, dude. I mean, I'll say my thoughts after the credits because there is such stuff, but... Dude, this case was wild, dude! What a way to end it! Like, Jesus! Yeah, this is pretty much my favorite case now. Yikes, I thought it was gone for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation at the chief's office. If we penalized you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show you can't shake me off that easily. Exactly, you can't shake him off. Because Gumshoe is a good man. He is a good boy. Dude. Like, I really like all the new ways of investigating people. I just like how, you know, I was able to get better at it by actually looking at the evidence and stuff and just actually thinking about it. Meekins! My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm going to make detective. Yes, sir. I think I can be just like that Dick Gumshoe. Well, I'm very glad Meekins will be probably out of the picture because I never want to hear that microphone again. God. Yeah, you know, at first I thought, like, you know... Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. The Blue Badger. Cool, because he was important. Yes. Very, very good choice of words, Blue Badger. Ha! He's knocked over, and thus we never hear his music ever again. Like, it really bothered me that, you know, Lana and Emma looked exactly the same. You know, their names end with A. What is it? Can't you see him having me a showdown with the steak lunch partner? Miss Star managed to sneak this in for me. She's seeing one of the guards, it seems. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? You bet we can. Probably not. Like, it really bothered me how Emma and, oh my god. Can we not? Can we not? Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. What, are you breaking up with me? As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu, the Right Way lunch. Ayy. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer is sweet as victory. Kids do dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. I'll eat it backwards. Because, you know, I'm built different like that kind of person. So, you know. I'm just me. I'm just me. I don't even know. Hey, buddy. I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see. What was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing something else for how many years? Well, anyway, I got another trial to get to, so I better be... Huh? Oh, no, I forgot my gavel! Sorry, gotta go. We finally get to see the back of his chair! God, Judge is also my one of my favorite characters because he's just so funny. Man, I'm gonna miss this game. I mean, I'm definitely not gonna miss this series because hey! Nothing soothes the soul like First Country. I thought you were screaming. Still, I do sometimes miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a fully fed spirit medium. Miss Maya, afternoon training's about to begin. Coming! Well, see you around, Nick. That's great that we got to see her one more time. That's great. I thought she was really screaming for a second. Wow, man. I'm gonna miss this game. I'm definitely not gonna miss this series because, well, spoiler alert, I'm definitely going to try at least the other games. Mr. Edgeworth. Hey, the bellboy! Mr. Edgeworth, I brought you your tea. What's going on? That's definitely not the voice I gave him. But, you know, who cares? Who cares about the actual voices, am I right? Yeah, I'm definitely going to try some of the other games in the series. The train scene. Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be all right. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open up this book. Haha. Scientific investigation, huh? I like the picture. Peel. Oh, what is that? Yeah. That's cute. That's really cute. I love that. I love that picture. Capcom, baby. The only company that I ever do blind Let's Plays out of. K6! No. And there you have it. There you have it. This game goes crazy, dude. This game goes crazy, man. Oh my god. Yeah, that was the first Ace Attorney game. That was nuts. That was nuts. The cases just kept getting better and better and better as everything progressed along. Case 4 and Case 5 are the peaks. I surprisingly had easier time than I thought I would trying to figure things out. And I really love all the character designs, the music, how the way things turned out. It's just... This game goes crazy. At least, you know, Ace Attorney 1 anyway. Not the entire trilogy, though, because I haven't played all of the trilogy yet. Like, Jesus, why? I mean, wow. But, dude, why didn't anyone tell me this is a Hood classic? Like, really a Hood classic. Jesus. Yeah, it's no secret that I was really into this game. I really loved this game. I really loved it a lot. Like, again, my problems with the game still stand a little bit. Like, I wish there was an easier way to get around to certain places. And, you know, in comparison to some of the other cases, some cases might be a little bit, you know, I don't know, not as good as some of the others, but don't get me wrong, all these cases were really fun. Like, Case 5 went really crazy. And if we're just talking about the base game without the extra putting into it, Case 4 went crazy. Like, if I had to do a totem pole of cases, I would definitely have, I guess we'll just go backwards. Like, you know, at the top is 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. Because, you know, Case 1 was merely the tutorial case. Case 2, while it was intriguing, you know, it's not as good as 3. Case 3 is when things started to get really, started to get good. And then Case 4, boom! They just go crazy. And then Case 5, though, which was added in the DS version, is just like, whoa. It's just like peak fiction. It's just like absolute peak fiction. And I use the term peak fiction rather loosely because, well, as I say, it's peak fiction. All right, so yeah, I really liked pretty much all the cases in this game. I really did. So that equates to like a 5 out of 5 and also pretty much a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. I wish there was an easier way to get around the maps, but you know, if that's really my biggest problem, then, like, oh my god. Oh my god. And, yeah, once again, I do like, and one other thing is, I really do like how this game is just forgiving. Like, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, part of the reason why I thought this game was, like, gonna be, like, really intimidating is because, like, in my mind, I knew the game probably would be otherwise, but probably in my mind, it was just like, I thought this game wouldn't be as forgiving. Like, I honestly thought it wouldn't be, because I thought you had, like, a fair few chances to get things right, and that was about it. And I definitely took some hits in some cases, but, like, you know, I saved just in case because, well, I didn't really want to get any game overs or anything. And these trials can get, like, really long, and apparently you have to start over from the beginning. So I thought it would be, like, not as forgiving as it was, but thankfully my friends told me that, you know, Ace Attorney is forgiving. If you can make a few mistakes, it's fine. But it's just like in those cases where you can't really, like, where you can't really mess up because otherwise you'll take a hit. Like showing exactly where the picture is at. So, yeah. But I'm pretty glad that Ace Attorney is at least, you know, forgiving in that aspect. You're allowed to make mistakes, just not too many mistakes. I appreciate that. I very much appreciate that. So yeah, that is Ace Attorney. I'm really sorry that these videos were like so long. Like, I just couldn't really help it. I can't really help it. Besides, yeah, I can't really help it if these trials are just so long to begin with. So, yeah. But I absolutely promise you that I'm not going to be playing Justice for All for a while. But whenever we do get to Justice for All, because, well, let's face it, I'm going to be on this train anyway, because next time we're going to be returning to the trilogy, we're going to be going for Justice for All, which is number 2. And we'll be back to long videos again, so oops. So yeah, can't recommend this game enough. If you really want to try it out, it's basically on everything. I can't really imagine it takes much to run on PC. It goes on sale like other Capcom games, the trilogy does, along with some other Capcom games like Resident Evil, Mega Man, Monster Hunter, you know. These games go on sale all the time, and I've notified you whenever Ace Attorney Trilogy goes on sale, so, and Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, so if you want to jump in on that chance, you have plenty of chances to do so. But anyway, that is it for Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I really hope you enjoyed it, because I really did. And next time on the Phoenix Wright series, whenever we return to that, we're going to tackle Ace Attorney Justice for All. So, yeah. It's official. I'm a fan. All right. So with that all said, I will indeed see you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.